Welcome to Business or Pressure, taking the pain out of massage business with me, Allissa Haines. This is your no-nonsense guide to building a happy, sustainable massage therapy business. It's our mission to make sure that every massage therapist has the tools to make a living wage in a thriving business. Before we jump into our topic, I want to take a moment to appreciate HobaCare Jojoba, a longtime sponsor of this podcast and many projects I attempted before this podcast. HobaCare Jojoba is 100% pure, high-quality jojoba. It is ideal for massage and bodywork professionals. It is the closest product to the natural sebum our skin produces. HobaCare provides a deeply nourishing massage medium that will not clog pores. Your clients will leave feeling like their skin is fresh and moisturized and not greasy and weird under their clothes. HobaCare is non-allergenic, so you can use it on every client and not worry about allergic reactions. HobaCare is shelf-stable and will not stain your natural fiber sheets. Over the long term, this saves you so much money on linens and laundry. With HobaCare Jojoba, you can offer your clients a superior experience that benefits both skin health and overall well-being. Our listeners can receive 20% off their order with code ABMP. Learn more at HobaCare.com. Our topic today is about creating agreements and clarifying expectations and getting everything in writing. As massage therapists, we do lots of crossovers and collaborations and projects for and with other people and businesses. And often it's events and activities that haven't specifically been done before and don't have a clear set of roles and expectations. And what I'm talking about is maybe you're in some kind of community organization like a PTA and you're at a meeting and they're thinking of things to do for teachers. Someone's like, hey, we had massage chairs at my office the other day. Maybe we should get them into the break room for teachers on Teacher Appreciation Day. And you're like, hey, I'm a massage therapist and I do chair massage and I can get a colleague or two to come with me. This could be a thing that we do. And it's creative and it's a great event and you can make a little money and you can help your PTA. And you can show up for teachers. There's a whole set of needs and expectations around this gig that have not been articulated. And getting all of it in writing with the people that you're working for and with the people who will be coming with you to perform massage is the key to a successful event and happiness on every side of the equation with every party involved. So today, it's my mission to make you see how helpful and good for your business it can be to make sure that you're backing up your conversations with a written synopsis of details and expectations whenever you are doing any kind of collaboration or project or job. Create a clear, written document with all of the information, all of the expectations assumed and otherwise stated, because once you write them down, they are otherwise stated and not just assumed. And it creates such a respectful tone for your business and such a professional tone for how you work with others. It can only help you and create a much more smooth environment and experience for every gig that you do. I want to note that contracts are really, really important when you're doing big things in your business, like actual legal contracts that have been created by and or reviewed by a legal professional. So like your lease, a contract for a big gig with lots and lots of money involved, or contracts for subletters. But in the absence of legal documents, writing down everyone's expectations will create a much more organized and palatable experience for everyone. I can't hire a lawyer to create and review a contract anytime I do anything with a colleague, but I can create, at the very least, a bullet-pointed list of who's doing what and what the expectations are. And this becomes especially important if it's the first time you've done a thing. When you're working with someone else and you're doing some kind of project together that's the first time for one or both of you, suggest a written document. Acknowledge that this agreement is an evolving thing. You can say to your project partner, hey, I've never done chair massage at a farm stand event before, so let's just create a list of the bits and pieces and the expectations so that everyone knows what's involved and what they're responsible for and what they're not. And then you create a shared document. And then everyone, or usually you, if you're the person taking responsibility, makes a list of their expectations and confirms with other people those expectations and the responsibilities. And you want to get as specific as possible. So here's an example. So you're going to host or supervise an intern, maybe with the aim of hiring them after licensure. I've talked to a handful of massage therapists lately who want to hire a massage therapist. And so they have found a student at the end of the program, taken them on as an intern to see if they could be a good fit, and really molded them into the kind of massage therapist that would do well in their practice. But there's not a lot of structure for this. Every curriculum is different. Every situation is different. Every business owner is different. And whenever I talk to people, I suggest they make a really specific list. The duties of that intern outside of massage. And this always comes as a shock when you start to work in some other environment. An intern or just someone who's used to being an employee will come in and just do the hands-on massage, not realizing that there is a whole host of other things that have to happen related to that individual client. How a request for a rebooking should be scripted, tasks and responsibilities related to the office as a whole. And I don't just mean like doing laundry, but what is the expectation when someone finishes a massage of how they're going to clean up the room, how they're going to wipe down the oil bottle they used? What are the expectations of what that intern is going to bring in with them, what they're going to wear in your office? What's the expectation of where they're going to store the few things that they feel they need to keep at the office? And is that even allowed? Is that intern going to be opening up the office before you walk in? Are they going to be closing the door? Are they going to be closing down the office if you leave first in the evening? Exactly what is all of that supervision going to look like? And what are their responsibilities related to every little part of that office? What is their starting pay going to be once they're licensed and properly hired? When will evaluations occur and raises occur? And once you have that starting document and you say, hey, I want to get all of this information and all of these expectations we have of each other out of my head and into writing, and then we're going to revisit it every so often and put that on the schedule and have a plan for when you think of something else that has to happen or a new situation with that intern presents itself. A few examples of things I didn't think of until I started subletting to other people in my office, and things eventually that I put into our lease, but that I didn't think of until they came up. So renters showing up for work to use the space that they have rented, but using the parking space closest to our entry door and parking there for the full day so that clients have to park further away. Turned out I needed to say out loud and put into the lease, renters should park in the parking spaces furthest from the entry door. I didn't realize until one of my subletters started using a scented laundry product. I did not grasp how much that would permeate the storage closet where we all had a shelf for our linens. And I had to say and write into the lease, do not use scented laundry products on linens that you're going to be bringing into the office. I had to stipulate that you should put your bag or your purse in a file cabinet drawer or in a closet so that it's not sitting on the desk open when clients come in and out. And there are also several expectations of me that my renters came to have that were not things I had thought of when I was in the office alone or just with one other person. Things like a proper schedule programmed into the thermostat, a list of instructions on how to open and close the office at night. It was my responsibility to create those protocols. And for a long time, I hadn't done it. And there was so much confusion. There was a lot of tasks and expectations that evolved over time that I had to put into a list. And eventually it became part of the formal contract. But in more casual situations, just having that list and having conversations about that list with the people you're working with can create a much happier environment for everyone or a happier event. So for example, you're going to do a chair gig with a colleague. Say they're going to come to that PTA self-care day, whatever, with you. You want to write it down. The name of the event, the time, the place, how much you're getting paid, how much you're paying out to them. You want to make a note of who the initial check is going to. Are you guys accepting tips? Do you each need to bring some cash change to give people change for payment or tips? How long are you going to give for each massage? How long is each massage going to be? Is that going to be standard between you, or are you guys going to vary? Will you have time for snacking? Who is bringing that food? Where should you park? What supplies is each person bringing? Who is the contact person with the venue? One of you, both of you? How should that communication go? Clarity is key in a situation that is new to each participant or just new to one participant. Creating that written guideline, you don't even have to call it an agreement, and it's certainly not a legal contract, but creating a written guideline about every aspect as things come up. Again, this is a changing and changeable document to keep everyone more accountable and in the loop. This keeps everyone from being disappointed and/or having unrealistic expectations of the others around them. I will leave you with a phrase that my friend Ralph Stevens, a massage educator, said years and years back. I used to help arrange massage education for different venues. And the first time I hired him, I said, I didn't know what I was doing. And I said, okay, do you have a contract? Do we need a contract? How does this work? And he said, oh yes, good contracts keep friends friends. And he was right. And I've remembered that 15 years later. Written agreements, clarity, understanding expectations, and accountability keeps friends friends. Good contracts keep friends friends. Today's high five goes to my friend Sakina Irizarry. And I said her last name really fast in case I was saying it wrong. But Sakina is a massage therapist in New York in the Hudson Valley and a friend of mine. And we were talking the other day just about the state of the world and the state of stress that people are coming into the offices with. And Sakina's involved in her community. And I'm also a pretty vocal person in my community. And we were talking about how some clients want to come in and kind of talk about the current stressors of our daily life, talk about the overarching stressors of our political situation, and how she has been encouraging silent sessions to the people who want to talk and kind of want her to talk. And I thought that that was brilliant. And this is beneficial for the client, but it's beneficial for me because maybe I don't want to talk about what's going on. And maybe that's not the energy I want to bring to my treatment, but also it's just not the energy I want to bring to anything right now. So it benefits the client, and that is how we can present it. But it is also a self-preservation situation, and it's working for me. I've also kind of adjusted this, and I've been doing it in my office for the last week or two, of people who tend to chat. I have been extra thoughtful about not initiating conversation. And also, if I feel like their chatting is kind of going off the rails, I have said at the beginning of a treatment, I think you would benefit from a few minutes of quiet. Let's start with one deep breath, and then I'm going to let you kind of go into your own head. And I haven't said, I'm not going to talk to you for the whole session because I'm, mindful of some people who just really need to chat. I might be the only human interaction they have all week. But just suggesting a few minutes of quiet has evolved into a whole treatment full of quiet. Or I've noticed that someone's been quiet for a little while and then they might say something, but it's typically a much less loaded topic that they start with. So thanks, Sakina, for suggesting silent sessions. And I also want to note that our friend Sakina was on the podcast Two Massage Therapists and a Microphone discussing disparity in healthcare, and specifically a disparity in prenatal care. I went to Sakina's class at the Heal Well event a few months ago, and it was really interesting to learn more about the history of disparity, especially in OBGYN care, and how much of our research has been born at the expense of Black bodies. And it was a really good interview, and I learned a little bit more about Sakina, which is always wonderful. I am going to include the link to that in my show notes. And that's my, double, triple high five today. silent sessions, and disparities in maternal care in the United States. If you have a question about running your business or an idea for an episode, I want to hear. Reach out via email at businessorpressure@abmp.com. I am especially interested in hearing money, finance, budget, business budget, personal budget questions. We're going to be covering a lot of that moving forward. You can also find me building websites, doing budget coaching over at deepbreathdigital.com. There is so much to learn about building and maintaining a sustainable massage business. I'm going to help you cover it. I will meet you right back here for the next episode. I can't wait.